Hello everyone, Frost here. Welcome back to another classic WoW video. Today we're going to look at another 7 gadgets outside engineering that will make you better at PvP in vanilla and make your life easier, or not. Due to the very good feedback we had in our previous gadgets video, I decided to dig deep for another 7. As I already said, vanilla PvP it's not only about the class, and certain items will give you the extra edge to win your fights. Keep in mind that we're not going to include any engineering gadgets to give a chance to non-engineers to compete. Without further ado, let's explore. One of the first gadgets for today is Nifty Stopwatch, a trinket that will increase your run speed by 40% for 10 seconds. This, in combination with Skull of Impending Doom, will make you a desired flag carrier in Warsong Gulch, will give you the chance to chase down your wounded enemies, or the chance to get away from an unavoidable gank. Just like Skull of Impending Doom, this trinket comes from a Badlands chain quest. The difference is that you won't have to travel around the world, you'll just have to prepare some ingredients. Before heading to Badlands, get yourself a frost oil and a gyrochronatum. Quick tip here, if you're an alchemist you can make a decent amount of gold by making and selling frost oils. Once you have the ingredients, head to Lotoville Veriatus, which is an NPC located in the northwestern part of Badlands. Here, you'll have to complete 3 Study of the Elements quest, which requires you to kill and collect items from various earth elementals. Turn your frost oil and gyrochronatum and get the last quest from the chain. This is going to be hard. Now, like the title suggests, it's not going to be easy. A level 45 elemental will spawn in front of the NPC, and you might want to have a body around unless you're super skilled and always carrying potions. Keep in mind that the elemental is resistant to nature damage, and good luck. I recommend getting this trinket as soon as possible, because the feeling of catching the Zeppelin while using the Nifty Stopwatch is great. Arena Grandmaster. A trinket with passive 1% dodge and on use will absorb between 750 and 1250 damage. That's roughly 1000 damage per use. This is the reward that starts from the Arena Master quest item, lootable from the chest in Gurubashi Arena. This might be confusing and lead you to believe that you only have to loot the chest one time, but once you right click on the Arena Master, you'll realize that you need to loot the chest 11 more times and collect 12 Arena Master trinkets. A challenge indeed. It all starts with short Mithril yelling out a message, telling all there's extra loot to be had. It generally takes about 2 minutes to head from the rafters, walk around the platform to head down, then walks to the middle of the arena, drops the chest and yells, "Let the bloodshedding begin." And it shall. This event occurs every 3 hours from midnight, so 12 am, 3 am, 6 am, 9 am, 12 pm, 3 pm, 6 pm, 9 pm, midnight, and loops endlessly. Expect during normal hours for lots of level 60s in PvP decked gear to show, so unless you have a 60 yourself, you will not be getting the trinket during those peak times. As you might assume, the 3 am and 6 am usually have little to no competition, and you can sometimes really grab it without interruption. Some would say, but Frost, the Defiler's talisman is almost the same. And it's not. The Defiler talisman only absorbs physical damage and half as much compared to the Arena Grandmaster. The cooldown is a bit higher, 15 minutes, but the use of the trinket is situational and could really mean the difference between win or a corpse run. Sounds like a lot of time and trouble to obtain the Arena Grandmaster, but isn't this exactly the fun part of vanilla WoW? Spider Belt and Ornate Mithril Boots. 2 items that only the 200 IQ people use. Either you want to get away from an improved wing clip, where a hunter will shoot you down, an improved harmstring, where a warrior wants to dump his rage on you, or a druid that wants to root you to the ground and deny your right to cap the Warsong Gulch flag. These are just a couple of situations where the Spider Belt and Ornate Mithril Boots can be used. The items will remove existing immobilizing effects and make you immune for 5 seconds. This is similar to the Gnome Racial Escape Artist, but somehow better with the 5 seconds immunity and not having a cast time, with the only downside being the 30 minutes cooldown. But yet again, this is not meant to be used every fight, only in the important ones. Imagine you being a warrior and getting Frost Nova'd and Freezing Banded by a mage. Not only that you'll be able to avoid a Shatter combo, but you'll be able to avoid a Cold Snap Frost Nova combo, which will leave the mage mind-boggling. As you already know, mages have 50% crit versus frozen targets, and having those gadgets will increase your win rate against mages by at least 50%. The main concern is that on a fresh realm the recipes for belt and boots might not be available. Spider belt recipe is a world drop with a very low chance. By the way, if you find one and you don't need it, you might be able to cash a nice amount of gold for it. And the Ornate Mithril boots recipe, it's only obtainable by blacksmithing, after completing the Mithril order chain, which is a long and expensive one. As you can see, they're not that easy to obtain early game, but if you think about it, what other good items are easy to obtain in vanilla? The Horned Viking Helmet, which is basically a goblin rocket helmet. On use will charge the enemy, knocking it silly for 30 seconds. Also knocks you down, stunning you for a short period of time. Any damage caused will revive the target. On top of this is a plate helmet and has 10 agility and 15 stamina, which can make it a great leveling helmet. This is a direct drop from Eric the Swift, which is hiding around with Balog and Olaf in a small hidden room in Uldaman. If you play the game Lost Vikings, developed by Blizzard, you remember that there was characters with the name Olaf, Balog and Eri. Yes, this is a direct reference to that game. Unfortunately, there is only one class capable of wearing this helmet, and that is the Horde Warrior. Eric, Balog and Olaf appear to be friendly to Alliance, and if you cannot find a way to kill a friendly NPC, you will never get a Horned Viking helmet. Nevertheless, this is a great gadget and it deserves a spot in our list. The Barov Peasant Collar. Because who does not like an army of peasants with forks fighting on your side? On use, the trinket calls forth 3 servants of the House Barrow that will fight, cook and clean for you, on a 10 minutes cooldown. They will run to a nearby mob or player and begin attacking it. You will not receive any sort of pet bar. It can be useful in PvP since the 3 are simultaneously hitting an opponent, disabling them from casting, if they happen to go on a caster. However, they are weak and can be killed fairly easy by an AoE. One good thing about this trinket is that when you use it, people will usually panic and do bad mistakes, which in the end will make you win fights. In order to obtain this trinket, you have to complete the quest Barov Family Fortune, which will ask you to venture to the Scholomance and recover the Barov Family Fortune. 4 deeds make up this fortune, which you'll have to collect from inside a dungeon. Return to the quest giver when you have completed the task and you'll be asked to slay Weldon Barrow or Alexi Barrow, depending if you're Alliance or Horde. Some people might be able to solve this, but it's recommended to bring a friend to avoid any inconveniences. Luffa. Luffa is a spelling version of Luffa, which is a shower sponge. They're traditionally made from the fibers of a loofah gourd, but in modern usage it can also apply to those puffy mesh shower ball thingies that people use with body wash. Now the trinket does look like a piece of cloth, but this item is the only one in game that can cure bleeding effects. It can be useful against warriors and rogues, and the rogue can use it to remove deep wounds to regain stealth. During Burning Crusade, people used Luffa to remove the bleeding effect from Morose and Karazhan. This was eventually fixed, but you can already see the value of a small gadget. The quest to obtain Luffa starts at Hansel, Heavy Hands and Searing Gorge. You're required to kill 20 Incendosaurs. I'd say not that much for an unique item. And last but not least, Draconic Infused Emblem, Earthstrike, Devil's Sore Eye, and all other similar items. Yes, I'm talking about burst trinkets. The thing behind burst trinkets is that if you cannot outthink your opponent, maybe you can outdamage him, or while all your other gadget trinkets are on cooldown, you could use a burst trinket because they have significant less cooldown compared to other trinkets. While a burst trinket has 1 to 3 minutes cooldown, a gadget trinket has up to 30 minutes. This could also suit the kamikaze playstyle such as Presence of Mind Pyroblast Mage, the Swifty 1-button macro, and so on. The trinkets are not necessarily PvP items, but best for PvP as well, especially on short fights, speedruns, and trash packs. Unfortunately, the trinkets are not really available early game, most of them being added midway or to the end of vanilla, with Draconic Infused Emblem being added in patch 1.12 to UBRS, Earthstrike in the AQ patch, Talisman of Something Power in the ZG patch, and the class quest trinkets, if I remember correctly, in patch 1.11. Nevertheless, these trinkets are worth waiting and worth grinding for, because they bring power and joy. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to leave a like and comment down below. This might be the last video from Gadgets Outside Engineering, since I ran out of items, unless you know a couple I missed. Until next time, stay frosty.